So in this video, we're going to be ranking the crowded welterweight division, which I think is by far the most exciting division at the moment in the UFC. And it's a pretty simple tier list, 100% chance that they're going to become champion, in my opinion, all the way down to why is he even ranked. And I made a special row here for those who have been champs before, and of course JDM, who is the current champ. So they will be here for now, but as the ranking goes on, I will be rearranging these guys into different rows. But for now, they stay up here. So starting off, we have Islam Makhachev, and I think this is going to be an easy decision, and a lot of people would not disagree with me that there's a 100% chance he will beat JDM in his next fight. I think there's not much debate here. JDM most likely will have better boxing, but that's about it. And of course, like the bigger size. However, Islam is much more well-rounded. He's got the grappling, he's got the wrestling, he can kickbox, he can do everything. And he's also a pretty big lightweight. So in welterweight, he will be a medium-sized welterweight. And I don't think that additional 10 to 20 pounds additional weight that JDM has would be enough to overpower Islam's technique. So I think Islam will be the next champ after JDM if that title fight happens, which it likely will. Moving on, we got Stephen Thompson. Getting closer to the retirement age. Used to be a serious contender. Nowadays, he's more of a journeyman. I wouldn't really put why he's not really ranked. Why is he even ranked? Because he does still have the skill and he does pose a serious threat to a lot of the up-and-comers. But I just don't see him really winning a championship title at his age after many, many years of being given the opportunity to climb to those levels. At this point, I think he's going to be a journeyman. And moving on, Shavkat. So up until about 6 months ago, Shavkat was the number one most predicted to win the welterweight championship. Now he's been injured. He's been in the hospital. We've seen photos of his recovery, and it's not looking the best. So I'm actually not so certain now if he's going to become the champion 100% in the future. But nonetheless, he's an undefeated fighter. He did lose barely to he didn't lose. He won barely to Ian Garry in his first ever decision win. And I would put Shavkat, personally, I would put him at good chance. I don't think there's a 100% chance. I think in order for him to defeat Islam, he needs to fight other more bigger contenders and really prove the fact that he can dominate the best in the division. I just don't think that Shavkat has fought the names that are big enough to deserve the 100% row. Plus, he's been injured, so we don't know how well he's going to bounce back from that. So for now, I'm going to put him at good chance. We got Colby Covington, who's been given 3 title shots, 2 against Kamaru Usman, 1 against Leon Edwards. In none of the 3 fights, he seemed like he was going to win. He didn't really seem like he deserved to be there. Although the Leon Edwards fight, I was hoping that he was going to try his absolute best and put on a banger of a fight. But nonetheless, it was disappointing. At this point, I would put Colby Covington at why is he even ranked. Moving on, we got Kevin Holland. I would say Kevin Holland has the reputation of being everyone's favorite journeyman in the welterweight division. He has beaten some big names, and he does still pose a serious threat. But of course, I think we can safely put him in the journeyman because Leon Edwards' category is more for the welterweights who are unlikely to become champion but have a pretty decent puncher's chance. So I'm of course referring to Leon Edwards' head kick against Kamaru Usman. And with that being said, I'm going to put Leon Edwards back into his own row where he used to have puncher's chance, but then he defeated Kamaru Usman. And then won a controversial decision in the second fight, or sorry, I should say the third fight, and then defeated Colby Covington, who should have never gotten the title fight in the first place. So gonna put Leon Edwards back in the puncher's chance row, or shall I call it Leon Edwards row. So next up, we got MVP, an exciting fighter, a karate style, brings something different to the division and to the UFC. very fun to watch. But I feel like he has won too many of his fights via decision. Don't think he has that knockout power to really clear out guys like Islam or JDM. It was impressive to see him defeat Shara and take his 0. But I think MVP is another puncher's chance type of welterweight. I don't think there's a 100% chance that he will become a welterweight, and I think most would agree. To put him in a good chance would also be a bit of a far fetch. So I'm going to put MVP in the Leon Edwards category. Next up, we got Gilbert Burns. Okay, Gilbert Burns. I think I know what you guys are thinking. Yeah, he's too old now. He has faced a lot of big names in the welterweight division, but at the moment he's more of a gatekeeper, kind of like the other journeyman. So pretty obvious. I think Gilbert Burns is going to go into the journeyman row. Geoff Neal, pretty much the same conclusion. Journeyman was a serious contender in the past, posed a pretty big threat to taking Shavkat 0, but still lost that fight. And I would say this is a pretty solid list of journeymen right here. We got, I think most people would agree that they're journeymen and not a really good chance of becoming a champion. Who knows? Maybe they could come back, but at the moment, from their record and how they've performed in the past few fights, I would put all of them in this row. Next up, we got Joaquin Buckley. I really liked Joaquin Buckley as a guy who is 5'9" in the welterweight division. He is a bit of an underdog in a lot of the fights. But seeing him lose to Kamaru Usman, who is, of course, now a bit past his prime, that was very disappointing. Up until then, I would have rated him definitely in the good chance category. But now I'm debating whether I should even put him in the Leon Edwards category. It's a tough debate. Like I want to put him here, but I feel like the fact that he lost to Kamaru Usman, who is still good, by the way, even though he's just coming off his prime. But I feel like in order to have a pretty good chance at becoming a champion this year or next year, you should be able to defeat someone like Kamaru Usman. That has already been through the ringer. So I'm gonna put Joaquin Buckley at the journeyman row. Next up, we got Michael Morales. So Michael Morales is an interesting fighter, right? Like anytime a fighter is undefeated, there's a big hype around them and big potential that they could climb all the way up to becoming the champion. However, Michael Morales, I just don't think that he has fought enough big names to deserve the good chance role even. Definitely not 100%. I think Michael Morales, for now, I think I'm going to have to put him at Leon Edwards. Definitely an undefeated fighter, has a puncher's chance, could definitely climb up to good chance, and even 100% depending on how his next 2 to 3 fights go. So Ian Garry, only losing to Shavkat, who is in good chance, and has also defeated pretty big names so far, such as Carlos Prates. I would say definitely Ian Garry, not 100% chance that he's going to become the champ, especially when he's got guys like Islam Makhachev, Shavkat, and JDM ahead of him. I think he really needs to defeat like a pretty good wrestler such as Belal Muhammad or Kamaru to really show that he is in contention for the title. But nonetheless, so far he has proven me wrong. Initially, I thought that he was quite overrated and he was hand-picked easy fights. But especially after his performance against Shavkat, even though he lost, he did a lot better than I expected. So I think he deserves the good chance row, but just after Shavkat. Next up, we got Carlos Prates. So with Carlos Prates, right, part of the Fighting Nerds, initially there was a lot of hype around him, but now that he lost, it's hard to rank him. I think, definitely because Ian Garry defeated him. I think he doesn't deserve to be in the good chance category. I hope he stops smoking and takes better care of his diet in order to bounce back and become better than ever. But at the moment, I'm going to have to put him in journeyman. I just don't see him even having the puncher's chance. Yeah, to become a serious contender for the title. So yeah, definitely I'm going to have to put him down here for now. But very likely that he will change. I will actually put him ahead of everyone else in the journeyman row. It's not letting me put him. Okay, there we go. Because I think he has the most likelihood of out of all these guys, as well as Joaquin Buckley, to climb up the ranks here. Next up, we got Sean Brady. I think Sean Brady is out of all the non-big names that are in the welterweight. Well, I guess it's debatable if Sean Brady is not a big name, but certainly out of the guys that are not overly hyped, probably my favorite fighter right now. And for a guy who's 5'9", kind of like Joaquin Buckley, very strong, has really good grappling. And I think he definitely has the potential to become a champion. He was defeated to Belal Muhammad. However, that's been some time now. I think his grappling game has improved. His wrestling game has improved. And now he's back in contention. So definitely, again, not 100% chance. I think he has a pretty good chance. Especially considering the fact that his fight versus Belal was also kind of close. I mean, he got that TKO at the end as well. I think the fact that his only loss was to Belal says a lot. I'm going to put him in good chance. I think he has a chance at pretty good chance at becoming a welterweight champion. Speaking of Belal Muhammad, does he have a chance to come back and become the champ again? Depends. I mean, if he decides to use his wrestling again and be a bit boring again, I think that definitely will increase his chances, even at defeating JDM. But if Islam beats JDM, right, would Belal fight Islam or would he move up to middleweight? I think he'll most likely move up to middleweight if Islam wins, which, I mean, most likely, or not most likely, 100% chance, I think Islam will defeat JDM. So I will keep Belal up here for now. And with Kamaru Usman, already the champ, had a really good performance against Joaquin Buckley. So would he bounce back and be able to defeat all these guys? JDM, Islam, Shavkat. I think there's a Leon Edwards chance in Kamaru Usman. It's kind of funny because like this Leon Edwards became the champion because he had a puncher's chance against Kamaru, but now he's in that category. He could get lucky with some of the fights and climb all the way up to a title fight against Islam. And Kamaru is big enough to even be a middleweight, a normal-sized middleweight, so I think he's got that puncher's chance. And lastly, we got Ilia Topuria, who says that he will climb up to the welterweight division after a few fights in the lightweight. I think he will do it. I think he's a man of his word. And so far, he has kept all of his promises. So if he says that he's going to move up to welterweight and become the champion, I definitely believe him. Do I think that he will have a 100% chance at being the champion in welterweight? It's a hot take, and some people are definitely going to disagree with me, but I believe that he's going to become the champion. I believe that Islam will defeat JDM. And if none of these guys are able to defeat Islam, Topuria will come up and he will defeat Islam. Or if any of these other guys become the champion, Ilia, he just has that really good cross, really good boxing. He's able to knock out 3 Hall of Famers in a row. I think that speaks for itself. So I'm definitely putting Ilia Topuria at the 100% chance. And that's my list. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.